And I'm joined by Luke and Neil of Blue Nation. How you doing, guys?
All right.
Good, mate. Very, very good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
to see you. Good to catch up. In a couple of weeks, as we stand time, you will be here in Bury St Edmunds at the Apex with Chantel McGregor. We were just chatting before I hit record that you guys got so many gigs lined up, man. I'm surprised you know where you're going.
Busy. It is really busy. I've also noticed I've got a duck on my head. I've just noticed that. Thanks for putting me.
You've got that on your head, yeah.
There's Mimi Detroit in the background as well. She's on the Zoom. Say hello to
Hey,
them.
Hey,
hey, Mimi.
you alright?
Get them.
Yeah, loads and loads of gigs, and we've got even more coming up that we can't tell you about. But yeah, it's busy. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's mad, mate. It's mad in such a beautiful way. We've only been doing this for so many years to get to this stage where we're actually having to turn stuff down
Yeah.
because
Wow.
we've got clashes and stuff like that. The only one we've actually made an absolute effort to make sure that we can be there is Just Push Play because
Diamond.
yeah, good. So we were like, as soon as the manager kind of rang us and said that Cambridge Rock Festival want us to play, I said there is no way we're not doing Just Push Play, no way. And that's when obviously I had a chat with you, and you were very accommodating, sir. So thank you.
That's quite all right, mate. Like, as far as I can see, if I can help you guys out and make it worthwhile and I know the guys over at Cambridge Rocks as well. They do a great show over there. So
Yeah,
everyone's in it for the same reasons, mate. There's no bullshit about it. So
no, it's good, man. It's helpful. It really helps us. It does massively.
Yeah.
obviously you played with Chantel a few times, and I've had her on the road. I've had her on the show. She's great, only a great artist, but great person. So, how many of the dates that you got lined up are with Chantel?
I think there's only two now, isn't there?
I think
Right.
we've got. When's this going to go out, mate?
So I'm going to air this coming Friday, so which will be the 29th.
Okay, so
cool.
we're playing with Chantal the 4th of May in Wolverhampton.
Yes, KK
Yeah,
Steel Mill.
KK Steel Mill, and then we're playing. Is it?
We're
September?
playing in September.
I think it's
at the 100 Club, which she does really well at, and we've got a load of people coming for that as well, because they're like, we really want to come. That's the Friday, the 8th of September.
Wicked.
For that one, yeah. So that'll be really cool. Second time for us at the 100 Club.
Yeah, it's a wicked gig, that is.
Yeah, man.
That's got to be a hell of a venue to play with the history that's in the 100 Club.
It's a bucket list gig, isn't it?
Yeah,
definitely.
It's a bucket list. Still haven't played. I haven't played the Cavern yet.
I have. I played when I was a kid. Yeah. That was mad. But the bass player I was with at the time wore a Stetson hat. What is that about? I know, a bit for me. But the 100 Club, last time we played there, 30 years ago to the day, the Rolling Stones were on that stage, same stage.
Wow.
And, it was a really emotional gig because a load of our mates came down from Birmingham.
Yeah.
They were like, "This is you start that." I think that was the gig last year that they said you guys are starting to hit another level. You start, it doesn't feel like our mates band, is what they said, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which was really beautiful of them to say.
It was also my birthday as well.
It was, wasn't it?
It
Yeah.
was my birthday.
Yeah,
Got to
That's
play
a birthday present.
Yeah. Ask one question, mate. Get a 7-minute answer.
I know you guys by now.
We're playing a lot of gigs. Try and get someone.
You're at least coming to Chantel McGregor one. The Apex.
He's definitely going to be at Just Push Play, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
I promise you, I'll be at least those two.
Okay, wicked man.
Yeah, so we're doing it in the Bury St Edmunds with Chantel as well.
Yeah, we are. Oh
This
yeah,
is the
forgot
thing,
about that one.
It all.
That was a trick question, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
You knew that.
What to see?
When is it, Lee?
Friday the 5th of May, mate.
It's the day after KK Steel, man.
Yeah, so on Friday the 5th of May, we're playing with Chantel McGregor at the Apex in Bury St Edmunds.
Honestly, mate. Normally we have like a cheat sheet, but we've got the sheet keeps changing so much.
Yeah.
Stuff. It's just like we don't know what's going on. So I've literally got my phone here going. As soon as you say something, I'll like type it in and go, "Oh yeah, it's this date."
I mean, to be fair, lads, I was looking at your dates earlier, and they are just like you say, they're getting added to all the time. Every time I see you, see you on your live stream, Neil, it's like there just seems to be like 3 or 4 more added each week. It just seems
can't fit them in. Can't fit them in. And literally, is the one that got added recently was we're playing at, is it Llandudno?
Llandudno.
we're still in the back of the throat now.
Yeah, I know. I can't do it. With scouting for girls on the pitch.
Yeah, scouting. Yeah, we got.
So it's like
it's our first stadium gig.
yeah, yeah, and it's Clandid Nose FC.
No,
Yeah, first arena gig.
We've we scouted for girls as well. So, yeah, man. Yeah.
It don't make sense.
And
mate.
someone called Natty Dread as well, who like I think she got really big during the lockdown because she does like loads of she's just a singer songwriter, but she does a load of folk stuff.
Yeah,
she's like mega. She's got like 1.8 million followers or something like that. On
and
TikTok.
then there's us on stage going, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
didn't fit. They wouldn't have asked you, mate.
Very true. Very true. I don't know how we got onto it, to be fair, mate, but I'm glad we are. There's, as I say, there's so much stuff me and Luke are sitting on, which is just nuts. Every single day we keep waking up to new messages, either from our manager or agents or the PR company and stuff like that. It's just we're working hard still.
Yeah, of course.
It's just it feels like it's all coming back, which is nice.
Yeah, I think advice for bands here: don't. It gets harder. The work is going to get harder. Like when you're gigging in pubs and stuff, that's like it's really like annoying carrying your own gear and things like that, which we still have to do. But like that's nothing, man. It's going to get harder. You need to work through it. Keep going.
Yeah, getting up.
Not that we're anywhere yet, you know.
No, I know. This is the thing. Yeah, it's like we looked at the itinerary for some dates that I nearly let slip. Then some dates that were given to us, and it's like. To make sure it works, we're not going to stay over for these certain dates so we can drive back. And the drive, we worked out, we're going to be on stage for probably 45 minutes, but we'll be driving for like 6 hours, like there and then back, just so we can kind of maximise the money, so we can put the money back into recording and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah.
Saying that, we don't do the driving, so it's not really that much of a hardship for us, right?
Yeah.
So
have you got Ron driving?
Yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, but he's the strings butler, the chauffeur, the manager. I've told you, mate. It's all the stuff we don't want to do. We get all the glory, we get all the headlines, and he has to do all the hard work.
So what you're basically saying is Rod is during night and doing like 90% of the actual graft.
98%, mate. To be fair, and the 2% is just getting on stage and actually remembering the songs as well. So yeah, we're not really working that hard, are we?
I mean, I do work hard on stage, but
he doesn't, mate.
I got nicknamed the palm tree once because I just stand there.
Yeah.
Sorry, now that you pointed it out, Luke, all I can really see is the duck on your head.
I know, it's ace, isn't it? I have no idea and also the cat scratcher as well. That's not because me and Mimi have moved into a new gaff in December, and we think that the previous tenants were obsessed with ducks because they're everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's just like
I like ducks. I like them.
I know you do. Yeah.
They obviously like you as well. He's very comfortable on your head there, Luke.
Yeah.
And he's got a candle as well.
He's not as violent as the ones from Chardin.
Yeah.
Not as hardcore.
No.
They don't want bread. They want your phone.
That's how it works.
You mentioned about the recording side of things. So you're about to release, as we say, this will be next week when we air this. But you'll be releasing your new single "Strangers," which you've just been sending out. Which
what do you think of it,
mate? It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love it.
When you first heard it, were you a bit nervous that we were crap again?
No, of course I bloody wasn't.
That was. I tell you what, mate. I'll give you an exclusive here. That song was written during pre-production. So we went into the studio with 7 tracks.
Yeah.
We went in with 7 tracks, and Trev got rid of 4 off the bat. And one of them, which we were really confident about, we spent a day and a half on.
Yeah, we spent a day.
A day and a half, mate, in the studio, kind of trying to work it out, trying to like pull together bits. And Trev just went, "It's not working. It's not good enough." So it was like. And he was like, "Look, you've got to step up again. You can't follow Echoes with a subpar songs. You can't follow that AP with nothing." Yeah. And it was like, it was a hell of a punch in the gut, wasn't it? Because we were confident about this song.
He kept having a go at us because this one song, the potential,
it's there.
Yeah, it was there. But the thing is, it never had a chorus.
Yeah.
So we'd keep listening back, and he'd be like, "It still ain't got a chorus." Then he'd tell us off and tell us to go and write a chorus, but it just wasn't.
It just wasn't coming out.
And so we decided to write a whole new song.
Yeah. So we'd go. at the end of and we tried to do it all together, but we were so frazzled and so like this ain't working and getting a little bit stressed. Luke always has riffs, and he'll always send riffs into like the WhatsApp group with me and Arnie and just go listen to this and stuff, and it will. How we write is Luke will write like a riff, and it'll either spark something in me, or I'll just leave it sitting there until it sparks. And this riff was written 8 months ago, and we couldn't find anything to go around it. And then I got back from pre-production, and the way I do it is I wouldn't have been able to go to bed unless I'd written something to bring the lads the next day for us then to work on again. Yeah. So I had Luke's riff, and I went through all his riffs. It was like 40 riffs, and I went through this one and I found it, and then I started putting some chords together with it, and then I took that back into the lads, and they were, oh yeah, what about this? Then we kind of built up on it again, and kind of did that. Then and we did the other songs in pre-production. Then I went home again, wrote a bridge. Then I wrote the chorus. Then we needed a bridge, and I couldn't find a bridge. My head was just empty. And I came back into the studio the next day and said, Luke, I think I've got this. And I played one chord, and Luke went stop and went into the studio for about an hour and just wrote the bridge bit. So you know the bit near the end, it's like when it goes quiet, the please don't let me go bit.
Yeah.
So Luke wrote that on his own in the studio because we were all frazzled. We came back, we then put it all together. I went, oh, let's try it. Tried it, and Strangers came out.
Wow.
And we were like, thank God for that. And Trevor's like, yes, it's banging. You've got it. This is the one. And we were like, okay, cool. And so that it kind of really was created all together in the studio.
Yeah.
It was like, so that's how it came about.
Wow. So lyrically, where did it come from?
So lyrically, it was again from pre-production. I have to be careful not to drop someone in it at this stage. We were having a conversation, and one of the band members was talking about a girl that wouldn't leave his house. And the exact line she said to him was, I'll wait forever. You know, I'll stay here forever. And that kind of sparked something in my head. And then I just wrote around this situation. I'm being so careful not to drop anyone in it. I wrote around, this person's not with this person anymore.
Yeah.
I wrote all around it, brought it back to the lads, and then we sat down and some parts. I think we were really focusing on the wait forever, stay forever bits, and where they came in the song. So yeah, it came from someone's real life situation, mate.
Rumor has it that this the band.
You're gonna let it slip, I know you are.
Rumor has it that the band member went to watch the football and was hoping they'd be gone by the time he came. He came back, but she was still there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just slightly awkward on return then.
Yeah. Well, it's all about the person becoming a stranger to them, and they're like, this is not what I wanted, this is not what you wanted. Yeah. So, and everyone's been in that situation.
I think they were strangers. They were a stranger.
They were strangers. Yeah. So that's where it came from. So yeah.
So before we get into anyone in trouble, before we get into anyone in trouble, we'll move on.
Yeah, do it, mate.
But no, boys. What I thought about Echoes, that was my release of last year. It was. I said
you championed it a lot.
Oh, mate, honestly, it was. Thank
you for that, mate.
Yeah.
I told you before.
I watched that one.
Right, no, I did.
And you were like, no, I want it to be this, and you were.
Yeah, I had to tell them. They're like, "Are you going to flip? Is there any movement on your opinion?" And I'm like, "No." Like I've already said that this is my release of the year, and I said to you boys, like when me and Ryan did the albums of 2022. Yeah. If it had been in terms of song quality and the sort of as a release, if there'd been a few more singles on it, it would have been a few more tracks on it. It would have been right up the top anyway.
Hold that thought for 2025, mate. Hold that. There you go.
But like I said, it would have been right up there. So when I sat, I was sat at work and on a break and checked my emails and got the track coming from John, it was like headphones in, straight off. Right, let's listen to this sort of thing. It is, and I think I'd messaged you guys as soon as I'd stopped listening to it, just sort of saying that I heard it that first time around. It's a great track, man. It's a great track. I'm sort of itching to play it, but we'll play that on release day. But
it's weird, mate. It's got that reaction. Same with I Feel Low, really. We kind of said, right, this has got to be first, because we did think about the order of stuff.
Of course.
Thought about this one and thought, right, yeah, it will bang in, and it will get people's attention, and it's there. And we got with everything. There's always one song we're really confident on, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's always, like, Echoes was that last one. So the last time Echoes, we were like, we are confident people are going to love this because we love it.
Yeah.
But in the others, you're like, oh, I'm not sure. It's good, but is it as good as that, or is it as good as this, and all that kind of stuff. But with Strangers, we didn't expect like the reaction we've had from people who've heard it and they've gone, oh my god, this is class. It's like, because they were quite surprised. See the dogs now playing with the ball in the background. In there. Take it off of me, mate. Let's go have any fun. Yeah,
So-
it was kind of surprising, mate, to be fair, when we got your message, because we always think, oh, this will be the first one that comes out and
Yeah.
it'll get people back into us again. But you and other people were like, this is class.
Oh, mate, it was. As soon as I heard it, it was like, this is top. This is absolutely top. It was.
Oh, good. That is a relief, mate.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
definitely. I think it's probably the weakest song on the EP.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to hear that it's
The strongest,
yeah,
the least strongest.
the least strongest song. Yeah.
But if you're saying that president is
I
the
agree.
the least strong, and of how good I think it sounds, mate, I can't wait to hear the rest of the EP when it comes out.
Good.
Yeah, I think if I'm going to explain them, again, to give you an exclusive, I'd go, this one reintroduces people into us again.
Yeah.
The second one is like, is more commercial, but he still definitely has still got that kind of harmony vibe. The third one, I think, has the potential to rival Echoes.
Yeah.
And the fourth one's just a
Avant-garde jazz.
Yeah, and the fourth one's just banging a riff, man, which should then break us through to the next level. But that's what we wanted to do. We were even more focused on making it bigger and better this time and getting to that next stage because we knew we had to follow it up. And I was really nervous about it.
Yeah.
I was nervous about following up Echoes, but after we did it all, we sat there and said, and we think we've done it, don't we?
Yeah.
We think.
I think the difficult thing is like we can write a million riffs that are amazing or a million choruses, but it's just getting it all together and it's actually putting songs together that you think people are going to enjoy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can sit there and whittle for hours and I'll be loving it, stick some Floyd on or some Frank Zappa, but not everyone is a Frank Zappa fan, and it's trying. It's that middle ground where we please ourselves with the music we write and make everyone's ears happy as well at the same time.
That was a big focus for this one.
Yeah.
Big focus. Make sure that we're still true to us, but as Luke said, getting people going, like getting that reaction from you.
Yeah.
Want that from people.
I was going to say, obviously, like you got Trevor back, and I remember when we first spoke last time round about Echoes when that was sort of on its way. You saying that Trevor really pushed you guys along. Did you feel like in this one you were even more so because you had that pressure from Echoes being so well received? Trevor just being a bastard?
I think we put more pressure on ourselves.
Yeah.
When we went in, Trev picked up on that, and when we, not that we ever settled, but when we dipped or when our confidence dipped or and this is what he's so good at.
Yeah.
When we kind of started second guessing ourselves, he goes, no, go back in and do what you do, which is play, sing, and write good songs. And he kind of picked us up as well. So he's very good at just tuning in at the right moment when you need him. And at the end of it, you see the whole thing, and you see where he pulled the strings for you and helped you get to that next stage. Whereas it would have been much easier for him to go, do this.
Yeah.
He just doesn't do that at all, does he?
No. He brings you round to the conclusion in a very clever way.
Yeah.
But it's still all us, Although he does, is he singing on it?
He is singing on this one, yeah. Trevor's singing on this one.
Oh.
And Ollie's singing on, is it on Strangers?
I can't remember.
I can't remember which one it's on, but Ollie is, no, it's not on Strangers. Ollie does the lowest note I've ever heard. And we didn't even know he could sing on one of the tracks, and Trev's on one of them as well. I think it's the next track that they're both on. But yeah, there was pressure, mate. There definitely is, and I still feel it now, and I know you do when we play live or when people hear it for the first time, because we want to just keep going up and up and producing good quality for people. Really, that's the main thing, mate.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's got a similar vibe to Echoes as such, or do you feel like it's like a next step?
Trev said it sits very well with Echoes as a collection of songs. There's a bit of evolution in there sound-wise, I think, I think without being too artistic-y musician, I think technically they're better songs, as in playing wise and the structure of them. And they're a bit more grown up, I would probably say. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I suppose.
It's hard. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I think the thing is we're just getting a bit better in the studio.
Yeah.
We're just getting a bit better at honing our craft.
Yeah, it's all about being in that environment, you know. Yeah, you just grow, you get more used to being in that kind of place, and writing that way as well. It's the first time, you know, the Echoes EP was the first. No, it's the reason, isn't it? The EP. See, I forgot the name of the EP.
The EP is called Echoes.
Oh,
yeah.
is it?
Yeah, it was good. There you go. The EP was going to be called The Reason, but we changed it to Echoes.
This is how much attention I pay to anything.
30 seconds and he's gone.
Yeah, it's one of that. It's a process, isn't it? We went in there. We've never done that kind of process before. Now we're used to it a little bit. So whatever we do after this is going to be even better, I suppose. Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
So did you feel like because you was it the second time or third time round you worked with Trevor? Am I right in thinking this?
Yeah.
So you feel like because it's like that second time round, you sort of not know what to expect. So I imagine Trevor's someone who keeps pushing you guys along. But
we were still nervous anyway because we had to. Echoes is a really strong EP. And we had to. We want to beat it really. We want it to be better than Echoes.
The difference on this one though is we had Ollie. So we had Ben obviously on the first EP drumming. On this one we've had Ollie. So it was me and Luke kind of knew what was coming, but we had to kind of take Ollie on the journey as well. So Ollie went through everything we did on the first EP, and he smashed it, to be fair, because he's incredible. But he was like, okay, so how do we do this next? How do we do that as well? So the next one, what I'm really looking forward to is having all three of us on the same page and having that kind of,
that makes sense.
We put more pressure on ourselves than anyone else. That's the thing. Because as Luke says, we want it to be better. We want it to be the next level. We want people to hear it and go, oh my God, they've gone here. The worst thing that anyone could say to us is, oh, they've kind of sat back and they've just written another Echoes or written another Feel Low, which is just not what we're about,
It's not what anyone wants to hear either, though, is it? We've all been in there when you've been artist that you like, and then an album comes along, you think they have just written.
Yeah, they've just done 12
They found the formula, and I can see why record labels would want that to happen over and over and over again. Did you watch the documentary on Lewis Capaldi?
No, I haven't watched it yet, but I want to because I've had a mate of mine watched it and he was saying, you need to watch that.
I feel for that guy so much because he's cut his teeth like doing the usual circuit and stuff like that, and he found some success, and then I think a major label have picked him up, and then he's wrote that Somebody You Used to Love.
Yeah, Bruises as well as a great song.
And then that was like a mega chart topper, and there's a clip in it where he's trying to write this new album, right, and from what you can hear, it's good stuff, but the writers that work with him and the label are saying, just write another one of these, another one of them, and you can see in his head, he's like, oh, it's made him ill. He can't gig at the moment
really
because of the pressures that the label have put on him.
But that's where it is a real eye opener because no one will put Lewis Capaldi under as much pressure as himself.
Of course.
As well, because no one has to say to us, and to be fair, my dad, Trevor, no one said to us, you have to make this better than your last lot. We already knew, right? The minute Echoes came out and everyone was talking about it and everyone was, we were getting 9 out of 10s on reviews and stuff, which hadn't happened to us, and then everything started escalating. I said to Luke, we've got to follow this up, and I'm quite nervous. Now, he was very much like, don't worry about it, we'll do it, which was good. And Ollie was very much like, look, we'll just go in and just don't deviate from our journey. Let's not try to go better it. Let's go and just write songs, and they will be what they will be. But then when we were in the eye of the storm of the studio, and it really hit home when we had 7 songs, because we were on the crest of a wave going, we've got 7 songs, this is going to be fine. And then it was like, no, you've only got 3, and those 3 need a load of work. We were like, that's when it crashed in, and we kind of just went into a higher gear and said, let's go down, just double down. And I remember coming home, and all of us were like working till like 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, trying to basically write these songs and make sure this one song, Strangers, was good enough to match with the other 3.
Wow.
So it was, mate, when you messaged, it was a relief, trust us.
Yeah, it was like, oh, yeah.
So it's only my opinion. It's worth nothing, mate. So
Mate, done. It's done. I'm happy. One person is all I needed.
Release if you go, mate.
Yeah.
Your opinion's the only one that matters, bro.
It's funny you say the Lewis Capaldi thing, because I remember watching. I'm a big fan of Gary Newman. I was watching a thing on him when he kind of lost his way, and like again, record company saying you need to write another Our Friends Electric, you need to write another whatever.
Yeah.
And
the thing, Gary Newman, he's autistic, isn't he? So he's gonna find it even harder to understand what all of that kind of thing with the social emotional difficulties he finds. Can you tell I've worked with autism, people with autism?
you can, mate. Yeah. But I was reading his book about there, Savage, and he was on about that. And then, like, the further he got into his career, when his the hits sort of went away from him and public media went away from him, it was because he didn't realize until his wife pointed out to him, like, he was taking the element of Gary Newman away from his own music. He was singing less in it. He was having more backing singers. He was taking less of the opportunities. He was getting session musicians in to do stuff rather than doing it himself. And then I think he had just an amount of money left in from the previous release to record one thing, and he thought, sod it. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it for me again. And went in and played everything and sang everything like he used to. And then suddenly the Gary Newman fans came back because that's what they wanted to hear from him, And I think there's too many cases of that. It was the same in watching Saxon documentary when they told Saxon they needed to be, because of an 80s American hair metal band. And everybody went, hang on, you're British metal. I'm if you're going to do that, I'm off. And then
the only 2 artists I can really think of that have completely and utterly just changed genre or, completely rewrote the book on what they're doing is probably like Bowie and Zappa.
But Bowie did it every album anyway.
Yeah, Bowie changed it.
Yeah,
and Madonna did it to a certain extent. And she lost away, but you look back at where Madonna started and where she got to, and you're thinking, fair play.
Yeah. Like Zappa wrote an album in every kind of genre, you know what I mean? It's a little bit more niche than Bowie and stuff, but I think mainstream Bowie just,
definitely. Like I say, Bowie just went and did what he wanted to do. I love Bowie, but I think some artists can do that, and I think some artists have got it in them, and then some artists.
And also with the Saxon stuff, like people love Saxon for being Nwabum, and if they're trying to change him into an American hair metal band, it's just won't happen, really.
You got to remember why people fall in love with you in the first place, right? And it's not because you're in an expensive studio; it's because of who you are and what you write and what you talk about. And what most artists do, they do one or two things. They do the Gary Newman thing, where they listen to the label because they think, well, the label must know less. But the label don't sell. This is going to sound weird. The label don't sell the music. The music sells.
Yeah.
The music makes the labels money. Or artists. So artists listen to the label, or artists think, oh, we have to change this up. Then we have to do something different. We have to now go into this massive studio in Hollywood and get this amazing producer that's working on everything and get them involved because they're the next big thing.
Yeah.
And that we spoke to Trev about that. He goes, the biggest thing that trips bands up is they stop doing what made them get to that level.
That makes sense.
And it's like you sit there and go, oh God, yeah, because I mean, we've said to Trev, as long as this works for all parties, we'll stay here. The minute it doesn't work, then we'll go elsewhere. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Because the worst thing you can do is if it's working and doing well, and then you go off somewhere else. Because why would you do that? But labels will come in and go, you need to go here, you need to go there, you need to do this. So we're very focused on that as well, and we'll talk about it loads with each other about where we want to go and how we want to do it and what it feels like and riffs and stuff. And it now it's natural.
Yeah.
As well.
That's it.
That's the thing. It's natural to us to be riff based but melodic and stuff like that. And all the tracks on this new EP are totally different, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a different vibe to every track.
And that's where we want to be. And loads of people say to us, write this type of song. We're like, no, I can't be bothered because it's not us.
No.
One wants to be a ballad, one wants to be sad, one wants to be just a massive riff, one wants to be about something else. And that's how it should be because that's real.
One of them,
Oh yeah,
exclusive is a waltz.
yeah. What? Which sounds hang on, mate. Which sounds like where are they going?
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's in a geeky moment. It's in 6/8, not 3/4, so it's not technically, but you know,
you can waltz to it.
You can waltz to it.
Yeah. But that works. Trust me, you'll dig that one.
Yeah.
Definitely. But like you say, it's about what's coming from you guys. At the end of the day, that's where you want things to be. That's the music's always going to come from you, and that's that. My favorite bands. I mean, I'm fortunate enough that in a couple of weeks' time, I've not told anyone this yet, but you dudes. But I'm getting into, as similar to yourselves, actually, you already know, getting to interview Jay Buchanan of Rival Sons.
Oh yeah, cool.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, so they've been sent their new album, which is out in June, Dark Fire, sort of head up speaking to him. And every single track on that is different. But every single track sounds like Rival Sons.
So it's funny you should say that, because I know a band who would love to support Rival Sons.
So yeah. So if you don't mind having a chat to them and just say, "Oh, have you heard of these boys?" Because
what we're doing is we're finding everyone that's interviewing them, right? and we're saying, just tell them, right?
Get these brummies on.
Yeah, and then hopefully they'll just get so annoyed at people mentioning us. They'll be like, "All right, okay."
Yeah,
we'll do it just to shut them up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and then they'll hear it, and it'll be all right.
Yeah.
But you know, that's the thing. Every song, no matter what area of music it's going into, whether it's a heavier track or something more riff based or going more melodic, or as you say, a waltz, it should all sound like the artist, and that's what you want. Like Bowie, no matter what genre, going back to Bowie, he always sound like Bowie.
You're absolutely right. Yeah,
that's one thing that we were that we kind of focused on as well when we were in the studio was like, this sounds like Blue Nation. Yeah. That's got to be key, you know. As much as we'd love to, you know, I'm sure Luke would want to put like a 9-minute symphony out as well, but it wouldn't be Blue Nation.
Well, a lot of the riffs I write
are a lot longer. Longer.
Yeah, they're a lot longer. They're very technical, and I listen to loads and loads of deathcore, and hardcore music. So I'll write a hardcore riff and.
He just bangs it through, and I'm like, mate, this ain't gonna work. I can't play it.
And sometimes the hardcore riffs that I write will actually like kind of break through into stuff.
But they fit, though.
Yeah. They fit. Yeah,
they really fit. And that's what I say. Whenever Luke sends something through, I always say to him, I know instantly if I've got a melody because it will just pop into my brain. I'll be like, this is what I've got, and he's like, yeah, that's cool, that's this. And I'm like, cool, and then we just work on it all together and stuff. Luke's got a new best friend as well. My dog now adores Luke, won't leave him alone.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, literally.
I can see it.
Oh, you still there, mate?
Yep, still there, mate. You just flipped out for a second.
We had a blip there, mate.
That's all right, yeah.
That's probably our internet.
That's okay, mate. No worries. But obviously, like I say, single itself is out on 5th of May, which is the date that you're playing at the Apex. So that lines up nicely. But when is the actual EP out? Have you got a release date for that in mind yet, or is that something you're holding back for a while?
Oh, mate, I don't know. Don't ask us silly questions like that, mate. Like that kind of stuff.
I think it's in the near but distant future.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing to say because I don't know. No, it's not decided yet. Mainly because we're looking at. There's other things happening, mate, that we can't tell you about. That we need to time it all together. But it is coming. It is coming, and it's as I said earlier. The 2025 is 2024 next year. Yeah, 2024 and 2025 are already busy. We've already stuff that's happened, and it's just like, what? It's like, and the planning that's going into it is the next level as well. But it's coming, man. There'll be plenty of gigs, plenty of new music, and just plenty of stuff that's blowing our heads up already, which hopefully everyone else will be like, what is going on?
So what does the rest of the year hold out for you that you can tell us about, of course?
Festivals.
Yeah, this is the biggest year for us for festivals. We're playing all over the country. I don't think Luke and I are home for the weekend now until December.
Wow.
So I think we steal a couple of days here or there and everywhere. But like, you know, when you've got like April's been, we've decided like let's have a bit of a chill and a bit of a calm down until the gigs with Chantel and stuff like that, because
we needed it, didn't we? We just needed to. Neil gets fed up of looking at my face, I think, sometimes. So.
It's not true. Ollie gets fed up of us. That's the problem.
Yeah, he does.
But no, it's full on, mate. So loads of festivals, loads of shows. There's going to be tours.
Which festival are you looking forward to the most? Sorry, Lee, I'm just taking over your interview.
Wildfire, Love Rocks, but also Just Push Play. And that's not because Lee's on here, because it looks such an amazing
venue.
it
is a good lineup.
Yeah. No, thank you. And thank you, boys, again for playing. Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Anytime. Yeah. No, don't worry. We want a headline next year, though. You do know that, don't you?
We're gonna trash the backstage area and rock out.
Yeah. That's how we rock.
I'm sure. Yeah, I heard you're ruthless backstage.
Mate. Oh, yeah. If you don't have hummus and flatbread for us, it's kicking off.
And incense and a hand carved Buddha.
Yeah, it has to be carved on the day.
Yeah.
None of this buying it out there.
Yeah, by an actual monk.
Yeah. And if we don't have those things, we kick off.
Yeah.
Look, just because I haven't got my Peaky Blinders cap on now, I don't think I want to break it out.
No, don't worry. Yeah. No, it's going to be... when you stop recording, we'll tell you what's going on. And just don't say anything, because we'll get shot by the manager.
Yeah, no, cross my heart. I'm thrilled to have you boys on. I really am. And I know what you mean about long-term plans, because 2025 will be 10 years for Just Push Play.
Oh, wow.
So, I'm
Blue Nation headlining, yeah?
Well, you threw enough hints for Blue Nation playing, and it worked out, mate, didn't you? So.
I reckon Rival Sons.
Yeah, get Rival Sons in.
You're interviewing them. Just tell them, and then we'll be like main support. Then I don't mind that.
You're willing to go for that? That's fine.
Maybe Detroit says she'll play it.
Yeah, maybe Detroit.
There you go, sorted.
It's half your lineup there.
Mate, we've just done it for you.
Any other mates?
I've got loads.
Yeah. Take you in.
No, you've got loads.
Oh no, it's crazy. I mean, like this year we had about 80 bands applied for this year. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
Most I've ever had.
How did we get kicked out?
You know what? That's exactly what I thought. I was like, how did we get put on? Way better bands than us. Yeah. It's just mad. We just keep pinching ourselves, to be honest, and don't think it's really happening, and it is, which is just beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, so it's good to catch you as always. See you when you come, of course, on Friday the 5th of May with Chantel McGregor. Of course, I'll see you back at Just Push Play in August, and hope to see you in the in-between as well. At the beginning of the interview, as new single isn't quite out yet, I thought we'd delve back a little bit, and I'm going to play Down by the River at the beginning. But what song of yours would you like us to play at the end of the interview?
Ooh, I'll give this to Mr. Weston.
Oh, put me on the spot now.
Play your favourite one.
My favourite one, but the one that I like playing live.
Yeah.
She's a Storm.
Sure.
I enjoy playing live the most, I think.
I love how you say that. She's a storm. Because that is how it was. I had to sing it, and we had to change it.
Yeah.
She's a storm.
Did you write the lyrics phonetically?
What we tried to do was like the Arctic Monkeys, but with Brummie accents, and then we decided no, there's not a market for that.
Slade did it before, I suppose.
Slade from Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Easy there, son. Easy. Yeah. Did you see his eyes flick over then? He was like.
Yeah. They support that team that playing the Gold and Black. So,
yeah.
I know the one because my family's from Sunderland, and I don't like being called a Geordie, so I know where you're sitting on it.
There you go, mate. There you go. Don't make us fight Rebecca Downs, mate. We've done it before.
It's still 3-on-1 as well.
Yeah, the surprising thing was she absolutely kicked our ass. So it was. Yeah, I don't know how we lost that fight. So.
Cheers, guys. It's good to see you.
No worries, man. No worries. Thank you for having us, buddy.
Always, anytime, guys. Appreciate it.
Please don't try to calm my mind. It's almost over. I can't sense the fear inside as I grow older.